Welcome back to Build the Skatepark. Today we're going to build hubbas. Not exactly sure where the term hubba came from. Back in the day we just called them, ledges. But apparently if a ledge goes down or up, that's called a hubba. So let's start with just building a simple wedge or a bank. Start in the origin. Use your pen tool, that's L. We're going to go up, I don't know, let's make it pretty small, like 3 feet. And it doesn't have to be extremely steep. So let's go out. I'm gonna go to the bottom. So follow that green axis. Let's go out maybe 7 foot. That's pretty steep. Let's go with 10. Follow the green axis. Now you notice if you don't see the line, it's snapping to the green axis. Let's go with 10. And there we go. There's our wedge. Don't forget to make a nice smooth edge so you can roll up to it. I always do about a foot. And when you zoom in and out, try to make sure your mouse is over a face. Makes it much easier to zoom and rotate. A for arch. 12 sides is a bit much. Let's do 10. And to finish that, I usually double click, a single click on this line right here to trim it out. There we go. So let's make this bank. Use P to press and pull, click and release. Let's make this bank, I don't know, what do you think, 10 feet? Usually they have to be pretty wide, have a hubba in the middle. Let's go 12. Obviously, you can make it as wide as you want, depending on where you're placing this in your skate park. So let's triple click, right click, make a group. Remember, you can hide this line if you wanted to. I prefer to keep it there, so it's kind of obvious that there's a curve up and then a wedge or bank. Now let's copy paste. It doesn't matter where you paste it, we're going to flip it. Right click, flip along, green. Right? We're using the move tool, that's M. Snap it to the other side. So now we have a bank to bank. You can keep them separated as groups. You can even group them together. Or what I prefer to do is cut, double click on one side so you're inside the group, do edit, paste in place. Oh, that's funny. It knows that it's the same group. So let's undo, right click, explode. Now do cut, double click into the group, edit, paste in place. And then what you want to do is delete these lines in the middle. Delete. I know you can't see them, but they are there. Delete. And delete. So now it's just one object. I'll prove it because there's no extra lines inside. Alright, so there's our bank to bank. Or bump to bump, whatever you want to call it. Now let's make our hubba. Well, this is almost exactly like the same method we used to make the rails. So we're going to start here at the bottom, snap to that line, snap to the top here, and then we're going to design the height. Of course you can't see the line because it's following that vertical blue axis. But let's go 2 foot. And then we might be able to snap to the bottom here, but no, it won't match the perpendicular, which is fine. So do space to select, M to click, and then Control to copy. Right? Same steps we use many other times with the other tutorials. I'm going to close out that face, and there's our hubba. At least one side of it. Press P, press and pull. The hubbas can be any size. They can be extra wide, so you can ride down the top. They can be thin, like a foot wide. I prefer to go about 18 inches, so let's go 1.5. Triple click, make a group. I'm going to use M. And if you want to snap right to the corner, now you can pull this over. You know what? Let's center it. So find the center midpoint in the group, and then find the midpoint right here in your banks. So there's our hubba. But that's not enough. We gotta have some angle iron coping on this guy. Right? Press L. We're gonna make our tiny angle iron. So start at the corner, go down. I usually do 0.1, just like coping. We're gonna go on the red axis, 0.01, right? But we're not gonna finish that because we want to go the other angle. Start at the end point again, 0.1, and up, 0.01. Now, keep it on this red axis and hold shift so it snaps. Put your mouse over the edge of the other 0.1 or 0.01, and now we can draw one more line and created a face of angle iron. But you notice we got a problem. We can't press and pull at that angle. So to get it to press and pull upward at this angle that we want, we're going to have to rotate this face. Let's see if we can just rotate it. Do a triple click, Q. If you zoom in if you want to. I'm trying to figure out how do we know what the angle is. Right? We want it exactly at that same angle, but we don't have any kind of guide. So let's draw a line to make a guide. I'm going to go into the hubba. I'm going to click on this line, M, to copy. It doesn't matter how far you go, we'll just go 0.1. And now press L, same point. And there's our, I forget the term, it's not perpendicular. Perpendicular is two lines following each other. Now we can delete this extra line here. So this is just a guide, we're going to delete it later, because we don't want extra lines just kind of floating around. Triple click. Sorry, I went out of the group. So we're triple clicking that face again. Q. First click will be the start point. Second click is the end point. And then third click is what angle to rotate at. So yes, we are going to have a little gap here. We can fix that later on. But for now, let's get this press and pulled. So use P. And all you have to do is snap your mouse anywhere at the back of this face. Huh, that didn't work. I mean, it did, but not completely. Go back to P again. That's so weird. I guess I should press and pull all the way to this corner right here. Hello? Sometimes the angle of the camera really helps. There we go. But same problem here. We have like a little piece sticking out. We can fix that. It's a simple rotate, but I know what you're thinking. You're going to rotate that, it'll change the angle or the width of our angle iron. So I'm going to go delete this extra line in the group. Go out of the group. If you want simplicity, just leave it like this. I prefer to go ahead and do that rotation. It is so small. Now here's the hard part, is trying to get it to snap to that red face. We want red. And see, I clicked, it went to green. It's not what we wanted. You can rotate the camera, sometimes that helps. Snap. Snap. Bam. Right? So yeah, it does change the thickness, but we're talking very tiny. No one's going to notice. So same thing here. Click on the face. Q. See how I rotated the camera? Come on, give me red. If you don't have red, it's not going to rotate properly. There we go. Nope, didn't stick. Come on. See, there's no face there. It's so tiny. It goes infinitely into 0.00000. There we go. No! It's so close. I may have to just leave it for now. So I could spend an hour trying to do that. Alright, triple click. Right click, make a group. And then we're going to press M to copy this, because we want this on the other side. No point in drawing it all over again. Let's do right click, flip along. I think we'll do red. Yeah. Now make sure you click on the center point. Don't forget to pan. You hold middle click and shift. If you let go of shift, it'll rotate. Hold shift, it'll pan. Great way to move your view. So click on that inside corner. And that's it. You could leave it like this, but I'm not done. So let's go ahead and group it real quick. You see how I selected that? Doing the dotted selection box. Right click, make group. Now, you can always do Control C, Control V to paste. I usually prefer that. Make sure your angle of your camera is correct. And then you're going to right click, flip along, green. So now you just simply, it's hard, sometimes you have to move your camera around to get that angle right. And I'm also panning. We want it to snap to that corner. This corner to that corner. Or if you wanted to, you could just snap it down here and then move it over. This looks a little funny. The blue lines of this group do not line up with the lines of your hubba because of this edge sticking out. But if you're happy with this, no one's really going to see these little edges here unless they zoom in. But here's our hubba. If you're kind of OCD like me, you want to fix this. Not a simple fix, but let me get a drink. Not a simple fix, but it's just a couple of rotations. And sometimes you just can't make it perfect. There's no way. So I'm drawing a line from X to X. It's just an intersection. I'm not drawing it in the group. It's outside. In the group again. Click on that face. And then do Q. We're going to start at this corner and go to the edge of the side we want to rotate and bring it into here. See? Now it's straight. So it's really important to have this guideline. We'll just delete it later. Double click again, click on the face, Q, start here, rotate the center. Look how beautiful that is. So you're probably thinking, why would we have to do that twice if we can just copy and paste? It's true, but it was easy enough, right? Let's do it again. Find the center, which will show an X. Same here, X. Double click, select face, Q. Make sure it's on that red axis. First click, second click, center. Add a group, double click, select face. You can see the dots, that's how you know it's selected. Q, here, second click, center. Click on the guideline, perfect Hubba. Right? Save your work. After you spent an hour working on this, always save it. So now we have a good Hubba element. We can easily move these to the edges if we wanted to. Like that. And then use Control. Click again. Just like copying. We have multiple Hubbas. Now, unfortunately, it'd be very difficult to make this taller. Well, maybe not. Let's try it. So I'm going to go into the group. I'm clicking on the Hubba part, not the coping or the angle iron. And I'm going to select the top face. I'm going to do M. Doesn't matter where you click as long as it's on a vertical surface. And let's go up 1 foot. Let's do 0.5. Let's go 6 inches. Right? Oops. Stay in the group. Select the angle iron. Same thing. Use M. Stay on that blue axis and type 0.5. Yeah, okay. That was fairly simple. So now we just made our Hubba taller without changing any of the properties. Whoops. I don't want to press and pull. I'm going to do M. 0.5. Anyways, without changing the properties of the thickness. Sometimes it's hard to know which group you're in. Angle iron. And move, just make sure it's on a vertical face. Blue axis, 0.5. There, so you have a big Hubba, a medium Hubba. Let's make this one smaller. We'll do the exact same thing. Face, M. Has to be on the blue axis, otherwise you see what happens. You can make this weird at an angle. Actually kind of cool. But that's for another tutorial, because check it out, if you put an angle, you could ride up it. But now that changes the shape of our angle iron. It's not 90 degrees, so we're not going to do that. Anyways, blue axis, let's go 0.5. Angle iron, move, blue axis, 0.5. You could even leave it like this if you wanted to. So you have little, medium, high. Shoot, if we wanted to. Let's make this one even higher. Get a little crazy. Notice I got out of the group by just clicking outside once, but I'm still in the group. Let's select the angle iron. Move up, 0.5. There we go. Crazy Hubba spot. So you can practice. The only problem with this kind of Hubba is you can't slide up and over. Obviously, there's something in the way. You could slide up this one, catch a little air, and then slide down that one. That'd be interesting. But there's some ideas for Hubbas. Bump to bump. Bank to bank. You like? I think it's pretty awesome. You can also go in and color code these. Color coding is great because you can, when you're talking about elements at the skate park, you say, hey, I'm going to hit that red Hubba. Actually, I'm going to click on home. I prefer this brown. I don't know why. I think it's because my home skate park had this kind of reddish color for the coping, and it looked awesome. It was like that for 20 years. And even though some of the coping rusted, still kept that red. It was pretty cool. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's to not prevent rust, but to hide the rust. Anyways, I'm going to go with soft colors. So notice when I clicked on one face, it's already grouped, so the whole group will change that color. If you only want one face to change colors, you're going to have to go inside the group and then click on that face. Unfortunately, if you do that and then try to change the color of the group, that face will not change. So for this one, do something like that. And let's do a light grayish blue. Like I said, this is great for when you're talking with your buds at the skate park. And say, hey, hit the blue one. Or dude, I just did a crooked grind on the green one. Here you go. Hubba time. Enjoy.